Andy, our playoff hopes have officially ended after we lost 4-1 at Bishop Stortford. What are your thoughts after the game?
Yeah, bitterly disappointed for everybody, especially the supporters and the board, run the club. Yeah, bitterly disappointed. Just weren't good enough. Haven't been good enough since Billericay away, where we hit the heights, and I think we picked up 15 or 16 points out of 45. We just haven't been good enough. And try and sugarcoat it and dress it up however you like, but we haven't been good enough, and we showed that again today. Our defending was woeful, as it was on Monday, as it was last Saturday. So yeah, and it's sad because it's probably 3 or 4 points will be the difference in the end, and I think of the games where we've thrown them away. But today just typified and summed up the season really. We weren't at full strength, which is another discussion. We worked our way back in it, but say then we just our inability to defend, and we've conceded from 3 set plays, and guess what? We spent all week acknowledging that we're Stortford strong from set plays and working on it and giving people roles and responsibilities, but just not good enough. Listen, it's collective as well. I'm not just looking at the players. I've got to look at myself obviously first before anybody else, and so we just haven't been good enough since the early part of February. Yeah, bitterly disappointed today.
It's a difficult question to ask, I suppose, but what do you put that down to? Is it sort of lack of concentration or complacency? Or
I think, you've hit the nail on the head there. I think complacency. I think we have an issue with that, a bit of contentment around the place. Probably after that game on about Billericay, and then I think we had a win after that, and then we turned in a couple of awful performances that didn't really affect us. I think it was Canry and Folkestone at that time. Listen, you can search for all sorts of reasons, but it's it has to start with me and the management team, how we've prepared, and then it comes down to personnel, and we've made a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of errors gone into the games I'm on about, where we've lost points, it's difficult, isn't it? You just stand here and say, we haven't been good enough. We haven't been good enough in both boxes. We haven't been good enough defensively, but we haven't been good enough at the other end either. We look back at it. I watched the Harringay game and watched the highlights. We could have won that 3-4-5, but we're not taking chances, and that's Saturday at Horsham. I thought last weekend was pivotal. There's a whole myriad of reasons why we've messed it up, but we have, and it's tough to take. But I still maintain we've got a squad and a team that should be in the top 5. We are one of the best 5 teams around, I believe, but the league table will tell the story and tell the truth.
And as difficult as it is, I suppose it makes next week a dead rubber, certainly for us against Staveley. Well,
it does, but we wear the shirt and with pride and the badge, and we ain't going to roll over for anybody. We'll give it our absolute bloody best next weekend. Will Aveley need to come to us to get something? I've no idea, but we'll finish as high as we can. It's probably 6th, I think, is the best we can do, I think. But we'll give it our very best shot. But it's going to be a tough place to work this week, because that really hurts today. But I say I just want to send an apology really to the board and supporters, because we put ourselves in a great position and have maintained a great position really until last weekend, and we've messed it up. So difficult to take right now. That's raw, straight after the game and say,
absolutely.
Unless it's still for a decent side, they're top of the league, and they're for a reason. But they didn't have to work too hard for the goals today. Got a corner that goes straight in. The 2 long throws result in goals, and we don't react. The players are flat-footed, allow people to get across them. we defended pretty well first half. Perhaps didn't flash a lot, but we drew second breath at half time and went again. And I thought we were back in it, but clearly not.
What was the message to the players at half time?
To stick with the game plan. We'd tried to overload in midfield. We didn't feel today that we felt today rather we could get the ball down, and we outnumbered them in there with an extra player. We needed to find those players, find the feet. We struggled to do that a bit first off, and that was just quality. It wasn't that those players weren't available in the areas we wanted them, but second off, we just said, got to start finding those players. The full-backs, Johnville and Joe Payne, have got to wrap the ball into those players. In that instance, it's Sam Youngs and Dayton, in behind Cass and Bakari. We had Cass and Bakari as well to work outside of their centre halves. And it worked, and that's what we asked at half time was to get back in it. We also asked for concentration levels, 95 minutes, especially on set plays, because you could see that Stortford, it's a big feature of their game, with the throws and the corners and the free kicks. So they got great delivery, and so that's what we asked for. But I thought we'd heeded the warning, at half time. But I say to go behind so quickly after was soul destroying. You could see that in the players, the body language. Really disappointed today. And in the, I'm not throwing the players under the bus here, but disappointed in the lack of leadership. The response collectively to doing that. I thought at 2-1 we just looked like we were sort of beaten. I wasn't happy that the senior leaders out there, didn't respond. And listen, that's nothing I wouldn't say to their faces. So, there'll be some inquest this week. But I was disappointed in 3 or 4 people that didn't respond and galvanise the others. So there you go.
Was that the case after the game in the dressing room as well?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I just reminded them of their responsibilities and what they, what we undertook to do and what we didn't do. And but listen, as far as Maz and I are concerned, and Kiri and Tom, we take the responsibility as well. We are, we're as a group, a collective. It starts with us. We're going to look very hard at what we haven't done as well. So yeah, that was the message after. It was a pretty sombre dressing room, as you can imagine. There's a few things being said and that probably people will regret. The emotion of it just after a game, so have to be a little bit careful. But it'll feel a bit different, or we'll be able to analyse it differently and a bit more rationally, I think, come Monday or Tuesday.
I suppose it's easy to draw comparisons to last season, but as well as perhaps a different vibe around the place, especially obviously of late, is our record against the sides around us. That's 1 win in 15 against I think the top 7 or 8.
I think you'll find it's 3 points out of 21. I think is what we'd worked out. Might be slightly different now, but yeah, you're right. We got away with that last year. We didn't we didn't perform against the top sides, but we were pretty much beating everybody else. But sadly, it's been the same again. And listen, that again, I have to be careful here. That could be we're just not good enough, when we play the sides up there. But I think you saw recently, with Hornchurch, we matched them and should have beaten them. Stortford at home was a different kettle of fish, where we were down to 9 men, were we? 8 or 9 men, yeah. Canvey drew at home but performed awfully away. Averley, well, we'll find out, but we did okay there.
Cray, we were 1-0 up twice.
And Cray, been in winning positions and haven't been able to see it through, yeah. But take any of those kind of top 7 or 8, I don't think our record's been good enough. And it's something we got to really look at, and certainly got to put right next Saturday for sure.
How do we pick ourselves up?
It can be tough, we get the players in, we can lighten the atmosphere a bit, for them. The pressure's off now, and but we have to focus, and be ready and be as professional as we can for next weekend. Whether it's a change of personnel as well, because we'll get 1 or 2 back in, or whether we just shake it up completely. But listen, it's not going to be we're not going out for a stroll and happy finishing, 7th, 8th or 9th. We're after maximum points and finishing as high as we can. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but there'll be a job to pick people up this week. But we know what we do. We know how to do it. We give it our best shot.
Playing for pride. Thank you, Andy.
Cheers, Caps.